Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you my alter ego, Bob. Full name, Bobby Backwards. Bob for short. Because Bob backwards is, well... You see, when I go forward, my alter ego goes backwards. When I want to say yes, Bob says no. And Bob always gets his way. I mean, just look at the size of him. He's grown to this height and to this girth by consuming all of the no's that I've collected over the years. No's, as Joseph mentioned earlier, of my fear of failure, embarrassment, rejection, judgment, responsibility, like what? Right. Moving on. Now, the unique feature of my alter ego is because he's so big that there is actually a dark space inside with a door, and I can actually open this door and I step inside, and when I close the door, can't hear anybody asking me to do anything either. Which comes in pretty handy when you have an alter ego like mine. Now, Bob was 25 years in the making. Difficult, painful years. It all began in kindergarten. At the end of the year, the teacher had invited the moms to visit and asked the students to stand and recite the musical scales. My turn came and I stood. I looked at my mom and I looked to the class, and suddenly I was petrified with fear. I felt as if I was melting away, disappearing, and the only sound that I could utter was one simple word. And so began the development of my alter ego. Little League, no. Piano lessons, no. High school debate team, nope. Graduate school, By the time I was 30, I had said no more often than Bush said tax cut. Surprisingly, at the age of 35, I met an amazing woman. A beautiful woman. Smart woman. A woman embraced by an aura of yes. And we went out for, 20 minutes. When she said to me, Robert, I see something in you. You're 35, you're going nowhere, and you're broke. And yet, I believe in you. I have faith in you, and I want to spend my life with you. And I stood there looking at this gorgeous creature, uttering this beautiful sound, and I was suddenly consumed by this overwhelming feeling of fear of responsibility, fear of commitment, fear of fatherhood. So I stepped into my alter ego when a new fear gripped me. The fear that my life was about to pass me by. And as I watched that woman turn and walk away, I stepped back into the light. I reached for her hand and I said, yes. And it felt good. So I did it again. A child? Yes. A new business? Yes. A second child? Yes. 30-year mortgage? Yes. A third child? Yes. Toastmasters? Oh. Yes. 20 years, a world of yes. Which took me to November 2nd, 2006. And I awoke in the hospital with tubes growing out of my arms and machines hanging over me, lurking like vultures. Doctor to my left, nurse to my right. What happened, I asked. Well, you just had an episode of sustained monomorphic ventricular tachycardia. Is that English? You had a heart attack. Oh. Oh. You know, we hear that the fear of public speaking, what I am doing right this moment, is greater than the fear of death. Not even close. 3 days later, I walked out of UCLA Medical Center. The sun was out, but something was blocking my light. Hello. Door was open, so I stepped in. And I have to admit to you, ladies and gentlemen, I stood there for 2 months. No to my family, no to my friends, no to my life. Close the door, Bob whispered. But I knew that if I closed the door, I wasn't coming back out. So I turned, and as I watched my family begin to fade away, I again stepped back into the light. I reached for that same beautiful woman's hand who was holding on to the hands of my children, whose hands were being held by my friends, and by my loved ones, and by strangers, and by you, my new friends. And it feels good. We all have an alter ego. A dark place. And when fear grips us, when it immobilizes us, we desperately want to run to that space and close the door. I can only tell you this. When that door closes, make sure you're on the side of the light. Mr. Toastmaster.